Okay, here we go. Today I'm going to show you how to create a skybox. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is go into your Call of Duty Radiant. You have to have Call of Duty Radiant up in order to do this, of course. Now, not only skybox, but I'm also going to show you Worldspawn Settings today. And if you check the description of the video, I'm pretty sure that you'll see the Worldspawn Settings. If not, you need to email me, ask for a copy of them, and I will be happy to respond. Now the first thing that you're going to want to do, well, let me just show you what it's going to look like. Final product. You're going to end up with a very simple map that I'm going to guide you through. The entire thing, in fact, I'm going to guide you through. And it's just going to be a clipped box inside of a skybox. That skybox has a texture that's set with the texture editor. Press S to pull it up. Surface Inspector, Texture Editor, whatever you want to call it. And inside you've just got a small area where you can walk around, and it's just for display purposes only. Now, what I want you to do is, of course for me, I have to go ahead and delete everything. Wow, it's never done this before. That's funky. I guess, okay, I want you to create a huge box. Now I want it to be 256 by 256 by 256. The best way to do that is to, or I'm sorry, 512 by 512 by 512. The best way to do that is drag it to positive and negative 256 on each, and it's not really that hard from there. I mean, you're done if you've done that correctly. So now you've got this box. It just looks like that. Well, yours wouldn't. I want you to pull up your Surface Inspector and make sure that you have Common Calc as your texture. And I want you to press Grid. Grid will pull up the grid menu. I want you to press Grid Menu 1. That changes this grid display to 1 unit. So you can literally move it 1 unit at a time. Never press the Snap to Grid button. If it's not checked, I want you to press it once. Make sure it's checked. Otherwise, never press it. Now I want you to select it and press this button right here. It's called Hollow. It'll hollow out your texture, or your box, using the texture you have. And I want you to press Exit. That deselects whatever you have selected. Hold Shift and select the top and the bottom parts of this newly made 6 brush box, and press the CSG Subtract button. Now the brushes were originally actually inside of each other. See how these two are actually intersecting in that 1 by 1 box? Well, this deletes that little bit. So now I want you to select 2 more brushes. They have to be opposite each other, and press the Subtract button again. Now you've gotten rid of that excess brush area where it's actually touching the other brush. Hold Control and Shift and select on the walls on the inside of this box. All 6 walls, make sure you have them all selected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got it. Now I want you to press the S button. This pulls up your Surface Inspector, as I've told you. Type in exactly what I type in. It'll be in the description as well. Sky/MP_POW camp. Now you can use any of the map names, but it's got to be Sky/. It could be MP_Pavlov, MP_Carrington, MP_Harbor. It doesn't matter. Now you've got what's called a skybox. I want you to select one of these brushes, and we're going to press the N button. The N button pulls up your entity editor. Now you've got these Worldspawn Settings. I don't know why I have these in here already. They shouldn't be here. Hold on, let me clean this up real quick. So mine looks just like what yours would look like. I apologize. I don't know how that got off. Alright. Now you'll have one thing in here that says class name Worldspawn. Now this is a Worldspawn value. You have a key and a value. The key is class name and the value is Worldspawn. Now basically what it means is when it spawns, it wants to know which direction the light is coming from. Now check in the description and I'll have the Worldspawn info. And I've actually got it pulled up here on my Gmail because I just store it there. It's a lot easier for me. Now you're going to have to copy and paste each of these. This is the key, this is the value. This is the key, this is the value. Into the key and value fields. Underscore color. So we're going to go ahead and type it in. Underscore color. And now it comes up in this little area right here. Perfect. You've got one down. Now I want you to do the rest of these. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while I put them in. And hopefully you guys will be done around the same time as me. Actually, it doesn't even matter. Just pause the video on YouTube. Okay, so you've now got your world spawn values put in. And that means that you actually have a world spawn on your entire map. And that's perfect. Now what I want you to do is make a smaller box inside of that box. It doesn't matter. I'd like it to be... change my grid back to 8. Make it so that it's exactly 64 away from each of the walls. So that means it's 128 by 128 by 128. No, 256 by 256 by 256. Doesn't matter. Now press the S button, and I want you to change this common calc to common clip. I'll put that in the description as well. I now want you to press the hollow button again, and make sure your grid is on 1 first. And now I want you to go ahead and select the top and bottom as we did for the other one. Cut it, and then the left and the right or whatever, and cut it again. That's great. Now I want you to create a grid. Right. I want you to create just a big brush that encompasses that entire inside of that box. Now the clip texture makes it so that a player can't walk through it. And that's perfect for what we want to do. We just want to make sure that a player can't walk through where we're this area that we're creating. So now we're going to go ahead and make this into a grass texture, but first we want to calc it. Now calc is one of the main textures that you're going to use all the time. Everything has to be calc that is not visible. Now it doesn't crash the game or anything, but it makes it very, very hard on the graphics. So what I want you to do now is load a ground texture and apply it. Make sure it's not an alpha texture. Alpha textures you can actually fall through. So we're going to go ahead and use... Alright, we're going to use ground grass at ravine 1 in your Austria textures. It doesn't matter for you. You can use whatever you want. What I want you to do now is create a deathmatch and a team deathmatch spawn. Make sure they're not inside of your grass texture brush. So now you've got a deathmatch. You're creating a team deathmatch spawn. Perfect. Yeah. Now remember, you're going to want to use approximately 25 to 40 deathmatch and team deathmatch spawns per map, because each one of those only spawns one person at a time. So say you have a 50-person server and 40 people get killed at once. Well, what do you want to happen? Do you want the server to crash because they ran out of spawns, or do you want, do you want to just go ahead and prepare for it? So now I want you to create what's called the deathmatch intermission and the team deathmatch intermission. Intermissions are just where you spawn in on the map to see. It's a camera angle, basically. So now we've got a deathmatch intermission and a team deathmatch intermission. Perfect. So now you're done with the map. What I want you to do now is save it, close it out, and go ahead and compile it. You're going to go ahead and compile it with whatever compiler you use. I use COD Maker. COD Maker works the best. Link in the description. Hopefully, I might forget. Once again, just email me. My email will be in the description, of course. So now you've got this map. You want to go ahead and build it. And my build goes really fast because it's a very good program. Done. And that entire compile just finished up. So now I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'm going to pull up Fraps, and I'll show you the map in action. Okay, so now we're starting up the server. As you can see, I have to change the settings in the Start New Server box. So we just turn Pure off, turn Dedicated off. Then we back out, pull down the console. Pull down the console and type in the map name after /map and then space and then the map name. And that loads the map. And as it's loading, let me just tell you, it's going to load in. You're going to see the sky, and you should be happy because it also has ambient lighting, which means it's actually got lighting from a sun-like entity. Alright, should be loaded up. And that's just a mod that I had been helping someone else with. Don't worry about looking at that. It's just okay. So now we've spawned in, and as you can see, it's got grass and you can walk around, but you're clipped from running outside. So that's it.